Okay, so have you ever had that person in your life that you never admit this at church, but you really wanted ill will for them? Like they were a terrible person and you just wanted to see what they were due come to them? I know I have. Also, let me ask you this. Have you ever had that person in your life that you loved? And you're struck with this idea of how do I pray for that person to either come to know Jesus or to come out of the issue that they're going through. Maybe they're running from the Lord and pursuing a lifestyle of sin in a certain area. But you didn't know how to pray about it. On one hand, you love that person and you don't want bad things to happen to them. But on the other hand, you want them to get right with the Lord. And I've been there too. In this passage, I think hits the nail on the head of how to handle those two situations. So I'm going to skip down to verse 13, and we are going to just dissect the end of this psalm, okay? So let's look at Psalm 83. Verse 13. O my God, make them like whirling dust, like chaff before the wind, as fire consumes the forest, as the flame sets the mountains ablaze. This is pretty strong language, isn't it? David is upset. There are people who are wanting to overrule his kingdom. But they're not just wanting to overrule his kingdom, they're wanting to overrule the Lord of David's kingdom, and that is God, that's Yahweh. And let's see what he has to say about him as he continues in verse 15. We'll back up to 14 and catch up there. As the fire consumes the forest, as the flame sets the mountains ablaze, so may you pursue them with your tempest and terrify them with your hurricane. That's pretty strong language. Verse 16 continues in this strong language. Fill their faces with shame. So, this is kind of the idea of when a parent is mad at you versus when they say, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Right? You're sitting there thinking, oh, I don't know which is worse. David is saying, let's not pick either or, Lord. Give them both. Make them know that you're mad at them and make them know that you're disappointed at them. This is a spot you don't want someone to be praying about you, right? But look how it changes. David pulls the whole thing into context at the end of verse 16. He says all these things about whirling dust and being consumed like fire, like a flame, like a hurricane. Then he talks about shame, being disappointed, but it all shifts right here at the end of verse 16. It says, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek your name, O Lord. See, David isn't just wanting ill will for that person because he's mad at them or because that person has got in the way of his kingdom being built or made his life uncomfortable or inconvenient or something to that effect. What David is doing is he's saying, God, these people are trying to destroy your name. And because they're trying to destroy your name, do whatever it takes for that not to happen so that they can turn their face to you. And he's saying, God, whatever it takes, that they may seek your name, O Lord. And then in verse 17, he continues. He comes back to the harsh comments where he says, let them be put to shame and dismayed forever. Let them perish in disgrace. So he throws that shame and disgrace card out again. But again, he comes back to, and he drives home the point by finishing this psalm in this way. Verse 18. All these things are done. Why? Right here. That they may know that you alone, whose name is the Lord, which translated is Yahweh, meaning the one and true God that we know. That they may know that you alone, whose name is the Lord, are the Most High. That's in capital letters. Over all the earth. So, you've got that person in your life who you can't stand. That person who's openly against the church or against you being a Christian, who's making comments or embarrassing you at times. It's okay to not like that. What's not okay is to want ill will for that person just because you don't like them. What David is saying is, God, if you have to do these things so these people can know that you are God and so that they can turn their faces to you, do that. Also, this is for those people that you love that sometimes you're scared to pray tough things for. What David is doing is he's showing to us that what's way more important than being comfortable here on earth is being right with God. Being in the center of His will, at peace with who you are in light of who God is what we're called to do. And David is saying these people aren't there. And so if you've got that loved one in your life who's running from the Lord, pray a bold prayer for them. Something along the lines of, God, whatever it takes, bring this person back to you so that they can know that you alone are the Lord. This is Psalm 83. Thank you for letting me join you as you study this in your devotional today. And we'll see you next time.